For decades, the secrecy surrounding Area 51 has fueled endless theories. Most dismissed as speculation, but recently, new footage has surfaced. Footage that claims to reveal what was never meant to be seen. Let's watch it now, before it disappears. You've probably felt it every time a classic flying disc shows up, and authorities brush it off, right? But this time, it feels different. A man recorded what looks like a clear, classic saucer near Area 51, and it wasn't alone. The footage appears to show an alien presence alongside the military. No chaos, no chase, just calm interaction. To many viewers, it looked organized, even cooperative. For years, people said contact was being hidden. The video just revealed the reality. It suggests those claims weren't guesses at all. They were being kept quiet. Brief encounter. Do you remember the Virginia incident of 1996, when a young girl spotted something strange? Now, after a long time, a rare video surfaced that gives a glimpse of what she described. A creature with unknown features was sitting in an abandoned area, scanning the surroundings. Then, right in a second, the military officer quickly approached, forcing the camera to shut, leaving only this brief footage. That reaction suggested it was outworldly being protected by the military. Silent interview. This old video is again from Area 51, where multiple aliens are inside a secured room, surrounded by officials from a hidden agency. The video suggests this was not panic or force, but a controlled interaction. Some figures appeared calm, as if communication was already established. What stood out was the setting. No restraints, only observation and exchange. This footage pushes one idea forward. Contact has already happened, and how aliens are treated depends entirely on world leaders. Friendly cooperation or silent investigation. The choice seems deliberate, and it has been kept far from the public eye. Roswell survivor. Remember the famous Roswell crash? New footage linked to that incident is raising serious questions again. Because this alien was recovered alive but unconscious after the UFO went down, a military doctor was seen giving medical treatment to keep the being stable. What connects everything is what the public was told at the time. Officials quickly dismissed the incident as nothing more than a weather balloon, shutting down all discussion and sealing the case. Now, decades later, these videos are appearing. The timing feels deliberate. Some believe this slow release is meant to soften the truth, preparing people for something much bigger, possibly an arrival authorities have known about for a long time. Hangar exit.
Oh my god, it's opening. That's not a jet. That's a triangle. It's floating. No sound.
The video is creating buzz on the internet, and for scary reasons. The UFO was seen exiting what looks like a hangar at Area 51. The object slowly moved forward. Not rushed, not hidden, almost as if this was a routine operation. What makes this clip bizarre is the timing.
It's floating. No sound. Wait. Whoa, it's gone.
Similar leaks keep appearing, one after another, all pointing to the same place and the same conclusion. These aren't isolated incidents anymore. When pieces like this start lining up, it feels less like a coincidence and more like a connection finally becoming visible. Quiet interrogation. After the Roswell survivor was given medical treatment, another piece of footage reportedly surfaced, this time showing the alien during an interrogation. The being is seen restrained, alive, and responsive, while officials stand just outside the frame. What they discussed has never been released to the public. Now we all need to wait for another leaked video of this interrogation session. Captured being. Years ago, in an unknown military facility in the United States, a black and white recording was stored away. Recently, that footage began spreading online. It showed a strange being with an elongated head and large dark eyes standing inside a small enclosed room. The figure matched classic alien descriptions shared for decades. The being did not act aggressively and appeared to be held under watch, as if part of a secret program. The clip ended without answers. It looked like the contact happened long ago and was quietly hidden from the public. Ground dispute. A tourist stumbled upon a truly shocking sight. A UFO had landed quietly on the ground, and two aliens were standing face to face, as if having a heated discussion. Suddenly, one of them raised its hand toward the other, and the second alien collapsed instantly. The first alien didn't stay. It turned, walked back into the UFO, and shot straight up into the sky, disappearing in seconds. He was not sure if he had just witnessed an argument, a punishment, or something far stranger. Whatever the reason, it looked like the fallen alien had been denied permission to return. Crash finds. A mysterious video from the past was recently shared online anonymously. It showed a strange gray humanoid figure deep inside a cave. With a big head and an elongated face, it looked exactly like an alien. Things didn't end there. Soon, another alien appeared right next to it, both in a subconscious state. The scary part was that the cave was near a crash site locals had previously reported, where a metallic disc was seen. The eerie footage quickly went viral, sparking endless debates. Some believe the extraterrestrial had been captured by authorities in that cave and locked away from the public. Others thought the alien might still be hidden from the world in secret custody. But with no official statement, no one could say for sure. Silent escort. Over the United States, during a clear daytime sighting, several unknown flying objects were recorded moving together in the sky. They did not fly fast or act out of control. Instead, U.S. military helicopters were seen flying beside them, keeping close formation. The objects were smooth, silent, and shaped unlike any known aircraft.
That's as far as it goes. On video. I'm taking a video of it.
Witnesses on the ground believe the helicopters were not chasing them, but guiding them. The calm movement suggested coordination, not panic or defense. This scene showed quiet cooperation, not conflict. To them, it looked like a controlled escort, hinting that secret contact may have already taken place, far from public attention. Lake discovery. At Cranberry Lake in Siberia, a group of fishermen pulled up their nets and noticed something unusual trapped inside. It was a tiny humanoid figure, far smaller than a human, with thin limbs and an odd head shape. The body looked lifeless and preserved, as if it had been in the water for hundreds of years. The fishermen stood frozen, unsure how such a being ended up in a remote lake. The discovery quietly disappeared from public talk, but the image of that small alien-like body stayed with those who saw it. Cloud disk. In Phoenix, Arizona, a man walking toward a nearby restaurant stopped when a bright glow lit up the cloudy sky. At first, nothing made sense. He pulled out his phone and zoomed in. There was a massive disc shape that became visible, hovering silently above the homes. The object stayed still for several seconds, partly hidden in the clouds. Seeing a huge disc over a residential area left people uneasy. The quiet movement and sudden appearance made authorities take notice, and the sight stayed on people's minds long after the glow faded.
So I just got out of dinner, and I want to know, what the is this alien?
Hidden convoy. On the 15th of February 2023, on a desert highway in Nevada, a civilian driver noticed a heavily guarded convoy moving toward Area 51, a truck transporting an extremely large object with an unusual shape. The size and secrecy made it look nothing like normal military cargo. Many believe the object was a recovered UFO being moved under tight control, away from public eyes. Soon after, another video surfaced showing a similar transport, fueling even more controversy around Area 51 and its hidden operations.
Tell me this shit that does not look like a
Silent examination. Now this is what I call a classic proof. Inside a US military base, scientists were seen closely examining an alien. The footage shows it lying still while experts surrounded it, studying every detail. Their focus wasn't just on the body. It looked like they were trying to understand how it thinks, how it reacts, and what it knows. Soon after this release of the video, the worker at Area 51 went missing, and to this date, he has not made an appearance yet. Sudden disappearance proved that officials didn't mean for the public to see. Facility watch. At a military facility in Nevada, surveillance cameras recorded a strange spherical object moving near restricted buildings. The object floated silently, changing direction again and again, as if scanning the area. Guards tracked it on multiple cameras as it moved forward, paused, then reversed without any visible force. The object stayed close to sensitive zones before drifting away. The calm movement and silence suggested advanced control, raising concerns that the facility was being closely watched by unknown technology. Yard discovery. On September 26, 2011, in Itajuba, Brazil, a man let his dog out. The moment it ran into the yard, it stopped abruptly, sensing something unusual. There, lying on the ground, was a strange creature, its body giving off a foul stench. The being measured about 45 centimeters long. It had 3 fingers, 2 toes, and a face that seemed unmistakably alien. Its mouth hung open, and its glossy black eyes shone like pearls. The skin's odd texture might have been the result of decay, but how did it end up there? Maybe it was dropped from above or left behind after something went wrong. Hidden recoveries. A former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer made headlines after testifying at a UFO hearing, where he claimed the U.S. government has recovered non-human pilots from crashed craft. According to him, these recoveries weren't isolated events, but part of a long-running program kept out of public view. He claimed that the multiple non-human bodies were secured after crashes and moved to highly restricted locations, including facilities people often associate with Area 51. He also showed images of these beings undergoing examination after recovery, not just in the US, but from incidents around the world. What's your take on this? Let me know. Cave witness. Area 51 has always been at the heart of UFO rumors, but this clip pushed things to another level. A worker reportedly recorded footage from inside a restricted room on the base. On a stretcher lay a being that was clearly not human. The body proportions, the skin, the shape. Nothing about it matched any known person. It was right there, in full view. With evidence like this out, denial no longer works. This is a top-secret facility, and nothing inside it exists by accident. Now the real problem for authorities is simple. How are they going to justify this, and what explanation could possibly convince the world this time? Restricted evidence. If you think you've already seen everything, here comes another one. This video was reportedly recorded near Area 51 and has been circulating online for a few years now. It shows a strange object. Some call it a UAP, others say a drone, hovering silently in the sky. What made it unsettling was its movement. It didn't rush or dart away. Instead, it slowly rose upward, almost like it was waiting. Then, without warning, it vanished instantly. Just gone, as if a portal briefly opened and swallowed it whole. For many viewers, that sudden disappearance is the hardest part to explain, especially given where the footage was taken. Peace message. In 1954, a U.S. Air Force captain was part of a group of 12 pilots assigned to film UFOs in the sky. Within just a few weeks, things took a disturbing turn. On one mission, they found themselves flying among 16 unknown craft. After that encounter, several pilots, including him, reportedly began suffering from serious psychological stress. Then came the moment that changed everything. Through their headsets, or possibly directly into their minds, a clear voice spoke. "We come in peace. We are concerned about what mankind is doing." The voice you are hearing is not a hallucination. The message warned against nuclear things. Years later, it echoed claims that President Eisenhower rejected an offer of advanced technology in exchange for ending nuclear development. Sometimes, the warnings came early. We just didn't listen. Sealed archives. During an interview, Daniel Sheehan made a striking claim that changed the reality for the whole world. He said he personally saw U.S. government photographs from Project Blue Book showing a crashed UFO nearly 40 to 50 feet wide. According to him, there was no doubt it was a flying saucer. Clear evidence of a long-running recovery program the public was never meant to know about. He described being taken into a restricted room filled with small government green boxes and a microfiche machine. While officials deny these files even exist, he quietly searched through them anyway. Most reels showed stamped documents marked top secret. Then, on one reel, he found them. Black and white photos of a metallic, disc-shaped craft. For him, that moment confirmed something huge had been hidden for decades. Russian humanoid. This one came from Russia, where secret footage appears to show another alien with humanoid features. Seemed like a new species of these beings. This time, too, it was examined after a crash. What stands out is how quickly officials stepped in and controlled the scene. Incidents like this now explain a familiar pattern. After every crash, the story is changed to a weather event or advanced technology. Now I buy that it was not about hiding wreckage at all, but about quietly recovering these beings before the public ever gets close to the truth. Underground contact.
More of these extraterrestrial beings. They have them in American underground military bases.
In another interview, people are no longer whispering. They're speaking openly. The claim is direct. Extraterrestrial beings are being held inside underground U.S. military bases. According to the host, some of them were kept at a site known as S4, about 11 miles away from Area 51, and a worker who left the base was deeply traumatized. He said he was taken underground and saw reptilian beings communicating without speaking, telepathically, yet perfectly understood. Even more unsettling, workers close to the interview say the beings were not prisoners. The contact was voluntary. The entities were calm, cooperative, and willingly communicating with humans. The truth is just freaking me out. Let me know what you take on it. Vanishing flight. One leaked clip brought the missing flight back into the spotlight in a disturbing way. In 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 vanished while flying over the Indian Ocean. Years later, a leaked clip began spreading online. The footage showed the aircraft moving normally when 3 unknown objects appeared. They flew in a tight triangular formation and slowly circled the plane. The objects were smooth, silent, and didn't behave like jets or drones. As they closed in, a strange glow formed around the aircraft. Within seconds, the plane faded from view, as if it had been pulled out of the sky. The clip ended right there. No wreckage appeared in the video, no explosion followed, and no clear explanation ever came after. Desert convoy. Near Area 51 in Nevada, a traveler on a desert road noticed a tightly guarded military convoy moving through the area. Several heavy trucks rolled past under armed escort, carrying large disc-shaped loads. The convoy moved with purpose, stopping briefly before changing routes toward a restricted zone. The security was far heavier than normal transport missions. The objects were handled with care, suggesting they were fragile or extremely important. Area 51 has always been tied to hidden programs. Seeing objects moved so carefully and so quietly made it clear that what happens behind those fences is far from ordinary and far from fully known. Mountain Drifter. Visitors in Utah, USA, were exploring a remote mountain trail when they spotted a strange object drifting above the peaks. At first glance, it looked like a jellyfish-shaped kite, but as they watched longer, the object moved smoothly and silently, without wind pulling it. Its slow turns and steady hover did not match any known aircraft. The tourists believed it was not built by humans. Some later suggested it could have been an extraterrestrial probe, carefully scanning a hidden area in the mountains.
Right. I don't know what that is.
It's not a kite. It's not. It's just flying around.
Secret images. Now it makes you wonder if Robert Lazar was right about Area S-4 and the US military knowing multiple spacefaring species. In Shandong, China, a man encountered a UFO and several beings near the Yellow River late at night. According to his account, one being was accidentally electrocuted and later stored in his warehouse. Authorities later said it was a rubber model, yet questions remain. Why the secrecy, the repeated visits, and experiments discussed at all? We can't truly say things as we are left with images of the incident only. No official video. Whether hoax or cover-up, it follows a pattern. Shocking claim, official explanation, then silence. Cave removal. A man flying his drone over a remote cave made a disturbing discovery. Inside the cave, the camera captured what looked like a small, mummified body, oddly shaped and unlike anything seen before. The footage did not stay online for long. After reporting it to the police, they quickly stepped in and took control of the site. Soon after, government vehicles were seen near the area, and the body was reportedly transported to an undisclosed location. What upset many was how fast the half of footage of transport vanished, and how tightly the information was locked down. To some, this did not look like archaeology. It looked like another hidden alien discovery quietly erased from public view. Secure transport. A video labeled as extremely sensitive has surfaced online, allegedly filmed near Area 51 in the United States. It shows a disc-shaped craft being transported on a large truck under heavy security. Witnesses claim the object was carefully unloaded and moved toward a restricted underground facility hidden within the desert. No markings were visible on the craft, and nothing is known about who or what was inside. What makes this footage unsettling is the calm, planned way the operation was carried out, as if this was routine. Some believe the craft was not being seized, but safely relocated. Others suggest these transports are meant to stay unseen, keeping real interactions far from public view. Hidden hangar. A cleaner working inside a restricted base entered one of the large halls and froze in shock. He had spent years around military equipment, jets, and classified hardware. But this was nothing like that. Sitting inside the hall was a massive disc-shaped object, unlike anything built by humans. What stood out most were the strange symbols etched across its surface, markings he had never seen before. The location made it even more unsettling. This was Area 51. Seeing something like that made one thing clear. Officials weren't just studying advanced technology, they were in contact with outwardly beings. How long this contact has been going on, and for what purpose, is a question authorities still haven't answered. Eggcraft. A U.S. Air Force pilot revealed that he once helped recover a strange 20-foot egg-shaped craft from an undisclosed location. What made it disturbing was that the object had no visible wings, engines, or any sign of propulsion. It was lifted out using a helicopter, handled carefully, as if everyone involved already knew it wasn't ordinary. Later, the Pentagon's UAP task force acknowledged that the object was of non-human origin. To the public, these incidents are often brushed off or renamed. But behind closed doors, handlers seem to know far more, including the fact that these objects don't always arrive in the same shape. Hidden observers. During secret briefings discussed years later, U.S. Army Command Sergeant Major Robert Dean said the military reached a disturbing conclusion. Reports suggested Earth was being surveyed by highly advanced extraterrestrial groups. Dean made it clear that these were not direct encounters with soldiers. Instead, the information came from long-term intelligence analysis and classified studies. What shocked military leaders most was one finding. One of these civilizations was said to look exactly like humans. Same shape, same face, no clear differences. This idea deeply worried officials. If they looked like us, they wouldn't need to reveal themselves. They could move through cities, wear normal clothes, and quietly observe humanity without anyone ever knowing they were there. Antarctic transfer.
Well, a mysterious truckload kept drivers from taking a rest along I-57. This large object you're about to see spent the day at the rest stop just north of the Posodum ramp.
In 2014, near Scott Base in Antarctica, local workers noticed a shocking scene inside a restricted area. An enormous craft was seen firmly attached to a massive transport vehicle. Several workers moved around it, tying it down and checking every part carefully. The object did not look like normal equipment used on the ice. It appeared solid, smooth, and carefully handled, as if it was extremely important. The activity suggested the craft was being prepared for transport, not disposal. Witnesses believed the object was being moved to a hidden location for study or repair. Whatever it was, the careful handling showed it was far beyond ordinary human machinery. Lab evidence. If life exists on other planets, we still don't have proof. Yet encounters with strange humanoid beings are reported more often, inspiring this unique exhibition. It shows 17 humanoids found on Earth, all in cryogenic sleep under scientists' watch. One being tried to pass as human using special equipment, but had to stay in a protective spacesuit because it secreted poison. It even has 2 hearts. You can feel its strong heartbeat. Another was found in the ocean and could grow dangerously large, though a special gas keeps it smaller now. Some have no home planet and travel space on asteroids, with clay-like skin and sharp limbs. Visitors can touch the silicone models, take photos, and explore them through virtual reality. Secret arrival. Secret footage from U.S. military sources has just surfaced, showing an astonishing sight. A military aircraft flies side by side with a clearly unidentified object, both heading straight toward Area 51. The synchronization between them is uncanny, almost like they know each other's moves. What happens next remains hidden from public view, but the clip suggests more than a random encounter. Area 51, long shrouded in secrecy, appears to be the stage for a direct meeting between the U.S. military and extraterrestrial visitors. Observers are left questioning the nature of these interactions and how much the public has been kept in the dark. Whatever went on behind those guarded gates is a mystery that may never be fully revealed. Lost corpse. In the summer of 1996, villagers near Kishtim, Russia, found a small, unusual body deep in the woods. It was only about 25 centimeters long and looked nothing like a normal lost animal or human baby. Its head was large and smooth, with big, dark eyes staring even after demise. Locals believed it was an actual alien from another world. The body later passed through many hands, including local officials, researchers, and curious witnesses. But soon after, it vanished without a trace. To this day, no one knows what really happened to the mysterious corpse, and its existence remains unexplained. Beach remains. A Long Island resident recently stumbled upon old footage in the basement of his newly purchased home. The grainy film, dating back to the 1950s, shows a dark, lifeless body lying on a secluded Plum Island beach. The figure appears humanoid, but its strange proportions and unusual features immediately raise questions. Was this a failed experiment from the infamous Building 257, long rumored to host secret biological research? Or could it be something not of this world? An alien life form washed ashore. The footage offers no answers, only more questions. Whatever the truth, the image of that motionless body on the beach remains haunting, leaving viewers to speculate and wonder what really happened back then. River secret. A tourist in Poland captured footage that left viewers stunned. While walking by a quiet river, he secretly filmed scientists handling a being that was clearly not human. Carefully, they lifted it onto a stretcher, moving as if guarding a fragile secret. Once the video appeared online, speculation skyrocketed. Locals had long whispered about strange happenings in the area, even claiming mermaids once haunted the river. Fishermen avoided it, citing old superstitions. Some wondered if researchers were experimenting with fossils or recreating these legendary beings. Whatever the truth, the footage has reignited the river's mysterious reputation, leaving everyone questioning what might really exist beneath its waters. Mystery glow. It's not just alien sightings or otherworldly craft. Sometimes, something even stranger appears in areas that have long been surrounded by mystery. One man shared disturbing footage of a glowing object hovering just above the ground. At first, it looked like a crack in the atmosphere itself, an idea that made no logical sense. Shortly after releasing the footage, the man vanished without a trace, igniting countless conspiracies. Some claimed it was a portal to another dimension and that he had crossed through it. Others believed it was yet another secret tied to the mysteries of Area 51. To this day, the truth behind this incident remains unknown. Open discussion. In Brazil, a lab attendant secretly filmed a sealed glass container. Inside, there was a tiny, preserved body, humanoid in shape, but clearly not human. The figure looked fragile, stored in clear fluid, and carefully labeled. The writing on the container mentioned the year 1978, linking it to a famous Brazilian military investigation of UFO encounters. Warning notes on the bottle spoke of contamination risk and limited access, suggesting strict control. The footage hinted that evidence was not destroyed, but quietly stored and studied, hidden far from public view for decades.